Let's start highlighting some of the big movers that we are getting to see in trade right now. And first up is indeed Castrol India, because Castrol parent has announced a big deal wherein BP is going to sell 65% of its stake, and definitely this particular deal is happening at an enterprise valuation of $10.1 billion. Indeed a big one, because for Castrol India as well, it will indeed make a lot of impact. Let me tell you some of the more contours of this particular deal, wherein Stone Peak will acquire the majority stake in Castrol parent, and alongside that we will also get to see that Canadian pension fund will invest over $1 billion in this particular deal. So all in all, good names are entering the parent company of Castrol. But in India, with respect to Castrol India, that's the listed entity and the stock that you are getting to see on the screen. Castrol parent used to have around 51% stake in Castrol. Now, with this majority stake changing hand, this will indeed imply that in the India listed entity as well, the majority stakeholder could be Stone Peak. Now, along with that, it could also trigger the open offer. So that's something that the markets will be closely watching out for. But for now, the stock seems to be quite excited.
Absolutely. That's the one that's soaring away in trade, Castrol India. But now on the technicals, we are now joined by Nagaraj Shetti, Senior Technical Research Analyst at HDFC Securities. Hi, Nagaraj, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today. The stock that you've picked out for us is Cochin Shipyard, and it has seen a good run up in the past 5 days or so, up nearly 10%. From here on, where do you see the stock headed?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, Cochin Shipyard has been in a strong downtrend. Over the last few months, we have seen continuous decline without showing any reasonable upside bounces in between. This week's bounce is indicating the change in trend from the lower levels. From near 1500 levels, I'm expecting an important bottom formation as of now, and currently placed at the edge of the downsloping trendline resistance somewhere around the 1650 levels. The overall this chart pattern is indicating we are likely to see some more upside and decisive upside breakout in the stock price in the near term. So the next overhead resistance to be watched is around 1780 to 1800 levels in the near term.
All right, so those are the levels to watch for Cochin Shipyard. But let's move on and get you another newsmaker of the day, that is Coal India. Now, this one is in the spotlight after its board has given an in-principle approval to list two of its key subsidiaries, that's Southeastern Coalfields and Mahanadi Coalfields. Now, the company will now send the proposal to the Ministry of Coal and DIPAM, with steps underway to target the listings in FY27. Now, this move is seen as a value unlocking trigger. SECL contributes to about 29% of Coal India's production, while MCL adds about 22%. Just to give you a reference on how these stack up in terms of production for Coal India, on the profitability front, MCL accounts for a sizable 27% of PAT and SECL around 9%, just highlighting the significance of the assets being unlocked. So yes, that's the latest we have on Coal India. The stock has actually given up those morning gains, but still continuing to trade in the green, up about 0.5% in trade right now.
All right, with this, let's move on and let's talk about Hero MotoCorp, because today Motilal Oswal has come out with a note reiterating their buy and with the target price of 6,782 rupees. What they are highlighting is that the company sticks to their volume growth guidance at the industry level. That is for the second half of 8 to 10%. But alongside, the company is confident of gaining more market share in the 125cc segment on the back of the new launches that the company have made recently. With respect to their EVs, they say that for now, the VIDA market share stands at around 14%. They aspire to take it to 14 to 15% towards the March 2026. And lastly, with respect to the export target, 8% is what their exporters contributing to the overall financials, but they aspire to take this number to 10%. So all in all, good report coming in for Hero MotoCorp, but the stock is trading absolutely flat as we speak right now.
All right, so that's Hero Motor for you, down about 0.5% in trade. But Nagaraj, coming to you, you've picked out Dalmia Bharat for us. Now, this one is up about 2% in trade today. However, if you look at the chart trend in the past 6 months or so, it's been absolutely flat, just about 1% uptick in the past 6 months. But from here on, do you see a turnaround story?
Yes, of course, I'm witnessing some turnaround story in Dalmia Bharat. Around 1950 odd levels, it has formed an important bottom reversal, and the recent downward corrections has halted at the higher bottom, and the stock price has moved up again. The 200-day EMA has been regained again, and the stock price is currently trading above that level, around 2100 levels, above 2100 levels. The overall chart pattern is looking positive. I'm expecting more upside from here onwards. 2200 is going to be the next hurdles to be watched in the next 1 month.
So that's the view on Dalmia Bharat. But moving on, another newsmaker today, and that's soaring away in trade, that's Vikran Engineering. Now, this one is gaining momentum after it has bagged a large 2,000 crore rupees EPC order from Onyx Renewables. Now, this order is for setting up 600 megawatt AC solar projects across multiple locations in Maharashtra. Now, this turnkey contract covers end-to-end execution, including design, procurement, installation and commissioning as well, along with supply of solar modules and inverters, and it's to be completed in a span of 12 months. Now, this win has meaningfully scaled up Vikran's order book, which the management earlier in the day told us now stands at nearly 4,400 crore rupees. So, yes, a good move over there. The stock is also trading pretty high, more than nearly 11% of gains. This is down, however, from the 13% gains that we saw earlier in the day.
All right, that's about Vikran Engineering. But with this, viewers, it's time now to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the other side. Welcome back to Market Fatafat right here on ET Now, and we have Nagaraj with us, and Nagaraj has been highlighting all the stocks that are making to his radar. And Nagaraj, coming to you for our next stock, and that is KFintech. Help us understand more about this. Why is this stock looking interesting to you?
Hi, this stock was in a range-bound action over the last few months. The rounding bottom type pattern has been formed at the lower level, somewhere around 1050, and after the rounding bottom pattern, this stock has started to move in the last couple of weeks, and the overall chart picture is indicating that there is a higher possibility of a breakout of this range movement. Currently trading around 1101, and I'm expecting this to move towards the next hurdle of around 1200 level, which is the next set of resistance, like downsloping trend line in the next 1 to 2 weeks.
All right, so that's the word on KFintech, but let's move on and get you some more buzzers. That's the IT stock, IT pack, which is yet again in focus. Now, this time because the US has announced a major overhaul of the H-1B visa program and ending the traditional lottery system. Now, the US will now move to a weighted H-1B selection, prioritizing higher paid and higher skilled workers. And under this new framework, the applicants will be ranked by wage levels, with the highest paid candidate getting significantly better odds. Now, the system takes effect from February 27th, that is next year in 2026, starting with the FY 2027 H-1B cap. Now, for Indian IT companies, this is critical, as they are among the largest H-1B visa users globally, with firms like TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech, Wipro and LTIMindtree heavily dependent on the skilled on-site talent in the US. Now, this could raise costs for companies relying on entry-level visas while favoring firms with higher value specialized roles. So, yes, the street is assessing the potential impact on margins, etc., that the IT companies will face, and hence all of these counters are facing some kind of selling pressure today. Wipro down about 1.5%, whereas HCL Tech, that's also facing some pressure, down about 0.3% right now. So, yes, that's the latest on the IT pack.
All right, but sticking with this particular theme, let me the stock is in focus today, because do remember that specifically for Dr. Reddy's, there has been a big semaglutide approval for the Canadian market that was expected, and even the management did guide that towards the end of this particular calendar year, they are expecting to hear some response. So now, almost a month back, Dr. Reddy's was asked for more additional details on their semaglutide approval, and some of the reports were suggesting that this approval is not through. Now, in a response to that, Dr. Reddy's has come out with an announcement where they've said that semaglutide not approved in Canada due to the regulatory issues. This particular news is baseless as of now. They clarified on this news that the reports related to Canada approval for semaglutide are baseless, and along with that, there have been no further developments in the matter since their intimation that we just talked about back in October 29th, 2025. So on the back of that, Dr. Reddy's, throughout the start of the day, the stock was under pressure, but it seemed to be recovering slowly and steadily from its day's lowest point.
All right, so that's Dr. Reddy's lab for you. But moving on, Nagaraj, you've picked out GMDC for us. It's trading about 3% higher today. And if you look at the past 6-month trend, it has seen a solid 37% uptick. But from here on, do you see more upside coming for the stock?
Yes, I'm expecting more upside. The downward correction which started from the October month seems to have completed recently from around 470 levels, and the stock has bounced back. The overall chart pattern is indicating upside continuation pattern. The stock price has moved above the weekly moving average of like 10 and 20 week EMA around 540, 545 levels. So more upside could be there towards 590 to 600 levels, which is the next set of hurdle in the next weeks to come.
GMDC, more upside likely, that's the word coming in. But now let's also talk about the pharma pack. Now, Biocon and Ajanta Pharma, both of these counters are in focus today, trading pretty much in the green. They've signed a strategic out-licensing agreement. Now, Biocon has signed this with Ajanta Pharma to market semaglutide, which is a GLP-1 therapy for type 2 diabetes, and that's across 26 countries in Africa, the Middle East and Central Asia as well. Now, under this deal, Biocon will manufacture and supply the therapy, whereas Ajanta will commercialize and market it, leveraging its strong branded generics present in across over 30 emerging markets. Now, this agreement provides Biocon with faster market access, scalable distribution, and monetization of its pipeline R&D investment, expanding its global GLP-1 portfolio. And for Ajanta, it strengthens its footprint with over 220 brands and over 2,000 medical representatives, ensuring widespread reach. Now remember, GLP-1 therapies are a fast-growing blockbuster category, making this partnership a key growth driver for both of these companies, and hence we are seeing a solid uptick in Ajanta Pharma, at least up over 3% right now.
All right, that's about the pharma majors, but along with that, all the railway pack is seen to be quite very excited and definitely rolling quite smartly. One such stock is Titagar Rail, wherein in the recent developments, we have seen that the company has actually submitted and delivered one of their first orders with respect to the Ahmedabad Metro Rail project, and along with that, there has been some of these other government orders as well as what we have seen for Titagar Rail. Just a couple of months prior to the big budget announcements, we have seen that not just Titagar, other railway counters are quite very excited. For today, Titagar is holding on to the gains of almost 2.5%. You know what? We actually caught up with the management today of Titagar Rail to understand their